Guys, while this game gets set up, I want to just remind you guys to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Helps out the channel a lot. But today I'm going to be showing you two different matches with Hunter. Hunter's a very versatile class that I think didn't get a new archetype this expansion, much rather got things to power up their old archetypes like Face Hunter or Highlander Hunter. And this Highlander Hunter list comes from a buddy of mine on Twitter, In Position. And this is the first one. The second will be a Face Hunter, which is really good against Druids and Paladins, which seem to be running amok on the ladder right now. But on the first turn, we realize he's Zoo. He's going to play a Flame Imp and the classic coin into Voidwalker. Now, I'm not too concerned about this. I have Scale Rider in my hand plus a Dragon. Next turn, I'm going to play the Felmaw. It's really standard Highlander Hunter. It's powerful. And I don't think he has a very good follow-up here. This game was recorded the first weekend, I think day 2 actually, so I'm a little foggy on it, but he's going to tap, pretty weak follow-up. He's going to hit me for 4, but he's already hit himself for 5. This is kind of the issue with Zoo right now, is that it's really powerful. It can ball out of control with Dark Layers and really high power minions on curve like the Smasher, the 3-mana 4/5, but you also deal a bunch of damage to your own hero. And the Scale Riders took a ton of tempo away from him. He just has a 1/3. I am kind of hoping that the Felmaw goes face, just to keep getting that health total down. He is going to play a Soul Shear. I'm not sure if this Zoo wants to run this card. I think this is Pizza's initial list, who is like a Zoo Wizard. But I think he's changed his build a little bit since the first day. The Felmaw is going to hit him in the face, which is awesome. He gets hit for 5. We're going to tempo out a Fairy Dragon, which kind of contests what he's doing on board, and he can't target it with his Soul Shear cards or Soul Fires. So we're going to hit him in the face for 2 again. We've already dealt 14 to him. If this deck can tempo out well, it's going to succeed. And I think that's true, was true for Highlander Hunter and Ashes of Outland, and it's still true in Schomolmance. The one thing that In Position did not do, he did not add any Schomolmance cards to this deck. I think he realized that a lot of people were going to be experimenting on day 1, and he could kind of take that to his own advantage and just run from Diamond 5 to Legend with a already very strong list. I have seen some decks that run more Beasts than Dragons. I'm not sure if that's what the deck wants to do. I've seen a lot of like little cool things that I want to play around with, but I really like In Position's list, and I think it may need to adjust for the Paladins and Druids on that. But there, we traded into his Voidwalker, got him down in the face for 1, and then killed his Tour Guide with our Desert Spears Locust. He's going to play Expired Merchant, which has a really powerful play to discard Hand of Gul'dan and draw 3 cards. He is also going to trade into the 3/2 and not tap. I think he's a little worried about tapping. He knows, I think people respect Highlander Hunter. They know it has a lot of reach with cards like Zephyrs and Bran. So I think by not tapping, there's probably a smart move, especially because we're going to get into turn 7 soon. One thing that In Position did is take out the Alexstrasza card and run a Flare for draw and take out, I don't know what he took out, but he added Evasive Worm. Now here I think our opponent did a misplay. He could have traded in the 2/1, which I guess he didn't, because then he would have no board. But if he traded in the 2/1, he would have got some Hand of Gul'dan's back and then be able to draw more cards. It doesn't really matter. We're going to kill it. He's going to get cards. I really don't care if he has cards at this point, because we're going to play the 4-mana 3/5 that deals a bunch of damage if we use our hero power, augment Merchant in. He's going to realize he cannot come back from that. He's going to concede. Guys, I'll put this deck description I'll put the code in the description. This next one is a Face Hunter, which has kind of got a little popular. I don't know how great it's going to be, but it kind of preys on Paladin and Druids, which have been running amok on ladder. Has a really low curve, kind of relies on Voracious Leader. I will always mess up the word, I'm sorry. Voracious Reader, which I don't know if that's a good card or not to be building your deck around. I think I talked about a little bit in the Handlock video, but I think if you're building your deck around a super low curve to just keep dumping out cards, you're going to be punished. But we're going to start off by playing the 1/1 that duplicates itself when played. We're going to buff it with Adorable Infestation. We're going to buff it twice to kill it. We're just creating a wide board. A lot of pure paladins right now are not running Consecration. It might be a really good tech card to add. But right now we have 5 worth of stats on the board, which is pretty powerful for a turn 2. And all he can really do is play a Silverhand Recruit. And the nice thing here is we can kind of replace our 1 mana that will die. I'm going to play the secret. This deck runs 2 secrets. It's a Face Hunter deck without Explosive Trap. It runs Freezing Trap to send big minions back to hand, and Pressure Plate to kill minions that get buffed by spells. And it also runs some secret minions like the Hyena Alpha, which when you have a secret in play, you get to summon 2 2/2s. So basically a 4 mana 7/7. He gets kind of punished. My trap does go away, so it's going to be hard to play my Hyena on curve, but we're just going to dump our hand to get the Voracious Reader, said it right this time, in play. We don't really care about the spell burst. We're going to push some damage. We draw an Eaglehorn Bow and another 1 mana 1/1 that. Not a bad first turn. Not a bad early game, I guess. First turn is kind of coming and going at this point. I think he's kind of wondering what to do because our board's pretty large, and I'm even thinking in the back of my head, well, even if he has Consecration, we have refill with Eaglehorn and the 1/1. But I think based on the lists I've seen, they don't run Consecration. I'm checking those because I think I've disconnected. This happens from time to time. But it doesn't. He's thinking through his play, which is fine. You should always think through your plays. He's going to play the 5 mana 4/6 to discount some Librams. Put a Libram on, hit to make it a 5/7. And we're not going to play the Eaglehorn Bow yet. We have a bunch of refill on board. I'm kind of counting myself right now. So we're going to trade a bunch of the 1/1s in. We don't want to kill the Voracious Reader. Almost said leader again. We want to get him down to 2 so we can use the Dwarven Sharpshooter, Hero Power it. And then we're also going to play 2 more 1/1s. And then we're going to go face for 4, I believe. The good thing about this is we are always pushing damage of some sort. And we get Dragon's Bane. I forgot what the card's name was in the first half of the video. I'm sorry. That's going to be a good card for later. Our hand right now is kind of awkward to dump. Now we kind of have 2 plays here. We can Dragon's Bane and hopefully hit it for 5, because we can push 7 with Dragon's Bane. I think we're gonna go for the more consistent play, Animal Companion, kind of hoping for Leok right there to give all my minions +1 attack, but we'll slam into it for 3. We'll push another 3, we'll push some 1. We want to keep our minions strong. We want to keep the Reader, the Sharpshooter on board, and we'll push 3 to his face. Draw another card. That card's really good in this deck too because it discounts your hero power for cards like Dragon's Bane and Phase Stalker, which is in this deck. I realize that the decks are not on the side of the screen. I'm sorry about that. I think my deck tracker was turned off on OBS during this recording. So we do have a play here, and that play would be to get the 2/2 open so it can get hit. Play the Dragon's Bane, hopefully it hits the 4/5. Play the Tour Guide, so our hero power will cost 0, and then draw a Beast. But we will probably have to hit the 4/5 Divine Shield, the Devoted Student first, which is good. We don't mess up the order. And hopefully the Dragon's Bane hits the 4/5. And it looks like it does, which is awesome. We'll draw a Beast. Phase Stalker's really good. It's going to get us some Pressure Plates and Freezing Traps. We got him down to 5, which is fine by me. And we get to reload with the Eaglehorn Bow as well to stop any more Taunts and Divine Shields. We also have a 1/1 to deal with Divine Shields. He's going to get Lady Liadrin, and I do a little BM here because he kind of does a little BM. He gets all his Librams back and buffs his Liadrin. And That's a little bit of BM. So I'm going to just BM back a little bit. I don't really think it's BM. I think it's more of just like both players are kind of just being like, ugh. But he's going to realize he can't come back from this. I do have lethal showing on board. So as he does this, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I will see you all